CarolinaPrepper.com. If you're looking for quality food storage for hiking, fishing, hunting, basic survival needs, or just for everyday use, check out our food storage line at CarolinaPrepper.com. We also carry other fine quality products, such as our can-can concealment holsters for men and women. Keeping your firearm under cover and within reach puts confidence in your hands in any situation. Our products are 100% American made. Check us out today at CarolinaPrepper.com. Good morning. How is everybody? Good to see you. We made it to Wednesday. Wednesday. See if I can get my people on YouTube. How is everybody? I don't see my peeps on YouTube. Everything changed. Good morning. Good morning, Joyce. How are you? Las Vegas gal. Hello. You bring up my YouTube people. I know they're going, but I can't see them. Hey, Marie. Good to see you. Shauna. Good to see you. Good morning, Daniel, Lori. Hello. Kitty, hello. Good morning. Thank you for sharing. For some reason I can't see the screen for my YouTube people. I know you're there, but I can't see you yet. Hey, Lisa, good morning. Good morning, Darlene. Apollo, how is everybody? Renee. Hey, Pat, good morning. Good news from an unexpected group. Yep, that's for sure. Hey, Wayne, hello. How are you? Boy, YouTube is like moving at a snail's pace today. I'm telling you. I don't get these. Supposed to be fast and good and everything else. Good morning. Let me see if I can get my YouTube people. Just can't see them. I'm sure they're there, but I can't see them yet. All right. I'm going to go ahead and read to you Psalm 113 as I try to bring up YouTube. Praise, O servants of the Lord. Praise the name of the Lord. Blessed be the name of the Lord from this time forth and forevermore. From the rising of the sun to its going down, the Lord's name is to be praised. The Lord is high above all nations, his glory above the heavens. Who is like the Lord our God, who dwells on high, who humbles himself to behold the things that are in the heavens and in the earth? He raises the poor out of the dust and lifts the needy out of the ash heap, that he may seat him with princes, with the princes of his people. He grants the barren woman a home like a joyful mother of children. Praise the Lord. Good morning, everybody on YouTube. I can see you now. Robin, Gary. Good morning. Lori, Debbie, Carmen, how are you? All right. Spencer, hey, how are you? So let's get started. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Absolutely, Kitty. Hey, Ivan, good to see you. Jerry, hello. Okay. So let me start off with some breaking news that you've probably heard about, but I just kind of want to bring it up. In California, the rains have sort of stopped. They're stopping today. Unfortunately, 15 people lost their lives yesterday in mudslides. Hey, Brian, how are you? Morning, Debbie. 15 people, 3 homes were destroyed. Hey, Marlene. I know, very, very sad. Hey, Cully, good morning. So pray, if you will, for the families there of those that have died. Everything happened suddenly, I think. Hey, Susie. Robin said, say a prayer for my daughter, taking her to the doctor at 1, getting ahead of the worst. Same symptoms as my son. Oh, Robin. Pray for Robin's daughter that she doesn't get what her son has, what her brother, the daughter's brother, has. And pray that they're okay. Hey, Tanya, good to see you. Debbie, good to see you. Welcome. You know, very, very sad. Robin, I hope she gets better, and I hope she gets antibiotics right away. Hello from Sweden, M22. How are you? A lot of people from everywhere. Phone call, gotta go. All right, thank you, Ivan. Thanks for coming in. Everybody's praying for your daughter, Robin. Good morning, Miss Knowles, Miss Vaughn. Good morning. Is it M. Sand? I don't know what. Is it Vaughn? What do we call you? Drew? I don't know. Is it Miss Andrew? I don't know. Miss An- Tell me what you want me to call you. Hey, Lee. Good morning. All right, Robin. Hey, good morning. All right, here's some other news. Now, here's the good news. Let me just start out with that first, because for some people, this will be exciting news for you. Tom, good morning. See you there. Robin says, thank you, everyone, for the prayers. Uh, Utilities are cutting rates. Not all of them, but hey, Barbara, good morning. The Washington, Pepco, Baltimore Gas and Light, Pacific Power, Rocky Mountain Power, and Commonwealth Edison say they plan to give hundreds of thousands of customers a rate cut due to the tax reform. Call me Mrs. Vaughn. Okay, I will. Thank you. Okay, Mrs. Vaughn. Got to remember that. If I forget, I apologize. I know, isn't that great news? I mean, seriously. Prayers going up for Robin. Thank you, Susie. Florida raising rates because of the hurricanes. I'm not too surprised about that. Carla, if you're on the outside, come back in. You can always, somebody's having a hard time getting back into the scope. Just come back into the scope. I don't know. It says something went wrong. You know, sometimes that's your own connection. Sometimes it's Periscope. So that's the good news, and I think that's excellent news. I wish they would all cut the rates. Of course, in California, they're not going to cut the rates. It would take an act of Congress, and they would fight that. And in Florida, they raise it. Well, one thing about Florida, and it's lucky, it's great for Florida, not great for the rest of us. Maryland getting ready to put insurance mandate in place. Is that a good thing for you, Tom, or do you wish they wouldn't do that at all? Hopefully I have missed anyone out. I haven't missed anyone out. Same here in Nevada. Marianne said, hey, Marianne, I heard people are dying from the flu in California. Debbie, they always try to hype things up in California, to be honest with you. There have been flu deaths. There are flu deaths every year. Typically, it's from people who have low immunity and that type of thing. So they just try to scare people here, I think. Thank you for praying for California. I mean, there's always something in California. The other day I saw an article about the increase in bed bugs in California, but they're everywhere too. Same thing as finding people for not having insurance. Tom, that's just horrible. That's a way to try to get around the federal government. Heard from the news the flu shot missed the strain again. Me personally, I would not take a flu shot unless I absolutely had to. From what's in it, no way. Flu is a scam. I believe that, Brian. And I think the flu shots are too, for the most part. You saw a great car chase in Los Angeles yesterday, Joyce. Joyce, there are always car chases in Los Angeles. So if you missed one, you'll see it again. No flu shot this year. Never take a flu shot. Never. I agree with you, Barbara. Veterans would also tell you they have taken some flu shots that, unfortunately, they were told afterwards the shot was no good. I wonder what that means exactly, what was in that flu shot, how long it sat out, et cetera, et cetera. Haven't had a flu shot in 20 years, Brandon says. I've never had one. Daughter's sick with the flu. She has no flu shot. Hopefully she'll be okay. Well, I would, get her to the doctor if you feel necessary, or call the doctor at least and speak to somebody on the phone if you need to. They need to help out more military men. Yeah, well, they do. The veterans deserve more and more of our help. Lots of vitamin C. They try to guess the strain. I know, Pat, it's ridiculous. And some of the things they put in the flu shots, if you're somebody that, does that research on there, it's scary. Never take a flu shot full of mercury formaldehyde, Marie said. It's because the government wants you to take a flu shot, especially the older people. Yeah, and why is that? If all the old women cute like you, the world would be more beautiful. Well, thanks, Peace, but old is and how old you are is a state of mind. Had a flu shot once. That was the last time. Got sicker than ever. Friend of mine got a flu shot. She got sick for the first time. She's never sick. Also, a friend's daughter got a flu shot, and according to what I heard, she got paralyzed. She's getting better now, but it was right after that she basically was paralyzed. It gave thousands of flu shots. Yeah, I am in the Marine Corps, and I see more old people on the street, and that makes you mad. Well, is it Doughboy? if you want to go to Tucson, Arizona, you will see a whole group of homeless veterans there in a tent city. Those people are really great people, and they're helping veterans get into housing right away. Yeah, the vaccines have bad additives. Robin says I don't get a flu shot. There are tons of people I know that got it and they have had the flu. Monique said, Susan, too many interruptions before joining in, but I just turned off my phone and you have my undivided attention. Great, Monique. Yeah, I mean, Doughboy, if you really, I mean, seriously, it's a great group of people. I got a flu shot and keep getting a cold 3 times so far. No flu shot here. Yeah. The people that I've known that have gotten flu shots, they've gotten sicker, and they've gotten sick for the first time when they weren't sick before. I'm not a doctor, can't tell you what to do with flu shots. I know for myself, not getting one. So, none here either. Yep, Harley. I mean, Pat, never again. Daniel, and it'll take a while for that to get out of your system, Daniel. And hopefully, you maybe need to look at some things to kind of detox your system from that flu shot. Spencer said Lewis Arthur is awesome. That's one of the VOP homeless veterans people I was talking about in Tucson. Somebody is making money on those lousy flu shots. Robin, yep. As a former San Diegan, I'm praying for California. The people have lost their minds. I've been detoxing. Good, Daniel. Got a shot, sick the next day, Carmen said, then got flu, bad weeks later. Yep, Carmen, I'm telling you, not good. Blood purifier, Daniel, good. Any updates on DACA other than the judges blocking Trump? I wanted to ask you guys what you think about yesterday in DACA. Monique said only had two flu shots in her adult life, and they almost killed her. Literally got pneumonia 2 to 3 weeks. Horrified or horrific. Have not had a flu shot in 20 years, or had not had a shot in 20 years. Yeah, wow. That's bad, Monique. But that's a good example of why I'm not getting it. Hey, Renee. Renee says, Lee says, me neither. He's not getting one. Zombie virus and flu shot, Wayne said. You never know what's in there. How do these judges get away with blocking our president? Well, Marie, here's what the judge did. Basically, the district judge is saying, I'm going to temporarily block the DACA ending until the litigation is completed. So on the one hand, I understand. On the other hand, it was a Clinton-appointed judge. And so you know that was going to happen probably. What is so bad, really, is that whole DACA, what Obama put into place, in my opinion, was illegal. Hello, Jules. Because the president can't make law when it concerns immigration or anything else. They can't create or enact law. That's for Congress to do. And what he did was, when Congress wouldn't act or didn't act, he went ahead and enacted a law. Can't do that. It's illegal. It's unconstitutional. Somebody ought to go in and say that right now, but they're probably not going to. They're going to let it play out. It may eventually end up in the appeals court and then in the Supreme Court. We already had laws already. Yeah, but what was happening is Obama did that all the time, though. Yes, he did. And they were all illegal and they were all unconstitutional, Brandon. And it was Congress who should have called him out on it, but didn't. Because that's when they had their tails between their legs and they were the water boys for the president. That's exactly what was happening. So right now, I think, it doesn't really matter, but I'll tell you this. Under Obama, when he gave DACA, when he did that, all he did was say that they couldn't be deported, which President Trump is not going to deport those people. He's already said that. Okay, so he said they couldn't be deported, those that had not committed a crime. Thank you, Kitty, for the super hearts. And he said you can apply, your work visa or whatever continues. I don't know if you want to look at it. They had no rights other than that. It's almost better than what we may end up with. Abomination loves to go against USA values. Yes, Jules. Feinstein, wacko, gave DACA okay, and later they'll pass wall issues. No, thank you. Let's see. Marianne, you're back. Yeah, the thing of it is, so, I mean, we could end up, after what we heard yesterday, they want to go do a full comprehensive immigration. So, oh, it froze. Wow. He needs to have 2-year time to become citizen or be deported if they don't. Well, Marie, I think they need to get in the back of the line or wherever because, why should they be in front of everybody else who tried to come here legally? It's not fair. It never has been fair to put people at the front of the line over those that came here legally. And, whether it's a fault of theirs or not, they did not come here legally. I see glimmers of Democrat, liberal, globalists coming out. Well, Renee, here's the train of thought. Some people think that what Trump did yesterday was absolutely genius, and then you have the opposite of people who think that what he did yesterday was absolutely horrible. Hello, Alexis. Rodney, how are you? Good to see you. And so it depends on where you fall. Now, Ann Coulter practically lost her mind yesterday in the tweets that came out. She said nothing Michael Wolff could say about Donald Trump has hurt him as much as the DACA Love Fest right now. She didn't like it at all. Hey, Tilly, good to see you. And then she said, but don't worry that this DACA Love Fest confirms the main thesis of Michael Wolff's book, When Bannon Left, Liberal Dems, Jared, Ivanka, Cohen, and Goldman Sachs took over. After agreeing with Dianne Feinstein that standalone DACA will come first, Trump's muscle memory kicks in, and he cites Israel saying nothing but a wall will work. But she was very disappointed with what took place. Anne has lost her mind, Robin said. Ann Coulter is out for herself, Cully said. Thank you, Carmen, for the super hearts. Also, instead of giving me super hearts, if you would rather donate, go to SusanKnowles.com. There's a donate button. Click on that. You can give me the same amount that you would in a super heart. I would appreciate that. I may never get the Periscope super hearts. Oh, I just see breaking news. California Representative Darrell Issa is going to retire after the end of his term. Probably a good thing. Issa hasn't been effective for a very long period of time. Trump knows what we don't. Trump knows what we don't know. He knows the DACA bill is solid. I'm sure we will be satisfied. Yeah, and that's what the other people are thinking. That President Trump hasn't let us down yet. There's a lot of talk going on right now. And so we really don't know what's coming out of it. And Coulter is not a phony. I should know. That's true. You should. Yeah, I don't think she's a phony. I think that, she's been dissatisfied with Donald Trump for a while. All Republicans are retiring. I know, Renee. It's like, are they on a list somewhere, and that's why are they retiring? They need to get the wall deal done or off the ground and then do DACA. It has to go in that order. Monique said if he does anything with DACA in their favor, they could completely turn on him and do nothing about the wall. And Robin said, build the wall. Enough of this. We need to stop giving illegals a free ride. They have broken our law just by coming here. Also killing people. They need to send as many back as possible that have committed crimes. I know, Rodney. I know it's you. Those that under DACA right now, those people who have committed a crime can be deported. That was even under the Obama temporary order of Obama. Barcode all legals. Jim, you said that yesterday. We're not going to barcode people. Bring me on the show for 5. Rodney, I can't bring you on. For some reason, I can't do that. I've tried that before, and I can't bring you on. It won't let me. I don't know. I think it's Facebook. But say what you want to say, and I can repeat what you're saying. So anyway, a lot of people think it was a great move. That it was a great move for him bringing all the people together, bringing the press in there. So no, I can't, Rodney. I don't know how. Well, wait a minute. Let me try. I don't know if I can do it. If you make me lose these people, I don't see your name up there, Rodney. I really don't. So I'm sorry. I'll try it. I'll try it next time, but I can't do it. I just looked, and it doesn't even have your name there. I think you have to request it or something. I don't know. Forcing the narrative. Yeah, I think it was good to have everybody sitting there. It showed that here are some of the problems that we have when working with the Democrats. Here are some of the problems. You have the news media that's sitting there, and they can't say, well, we're never included. There was a lot of secret stuff going on. It set the rumors. It reduced them a lot. Joyce said it was a great move to round table, but the real meat and potatoes was after the cameras left. That's true. Oprah would be a real threat if she ran. Susan needs an additional phone, iPad to get call-ins. I do. So if hey, there's a donate button over there. I can't. I know everybody hates that, but I can't. I've gotten all the equipment I can afford to get right now. So they need to get the yeah. So Jennifer Palmieri's memo, yeah, everybody knew that the Democrats, the only reason they want the DACA, the Dreamers here, is because they want the votes. We all knew that, and it was just we found a memo now that shows that's really the truth. Then she will need a helper. Yeah, Obama will need it. Oprah will need a helper. So, I mean, we know why they want them here. And, if they come in and they're not granted citizenship, as a legal resident, they don't get a right to vote. So unless they're made, legal, they won't get no use to. I do need a helper. Anybody want to come here and help me every day? That would be great. But yeah, I mean, you just, it's crazy. Dems call all non-white people of color now, grouping them against whites. Yeah. Why don't they just enforce the current laws? I have no idea. They really should. I mean, even the Dreamers, they were here for however long time, and they never wanted to become, they're not citizens, and they didn't want to become resident. Oh, you're lovely. Okay, Rodney, you're lovely. I'm voting for Oprah. She'll give everyone a car. Yeah, I know. I know, Rodney. She can keep her car. And in fact, the cars don't actually come from her. They come from sponsors that give them to her, and then she doles them out. Hey, Alexis, identity politics is horrible. I'm joining late. That's okay, Rhonda. I'm glad you're here. We're just talking about DACA. Yeah, don't hold your breath on Oprah's free car. Exactly. Rodney was being facetious on that and sarcastic. So I think we're going to have to wait and see. I know that Dennis Michael Lynch, he absolutely went bonkers, did not like the fact that what Trump did yesterday, told him that he thought all the people that had been, family members had been killed by people that were here, that their hearts were bleeding today, and he was bleeding with them or something on that nature. But I think it's, he has a point in some ways. I understand what people are thinking. I know what made it a little bit confusing for people is when Trump said yesterday, I'll sign anything that you give me. We can do immigration reform. I'll take the heat for it. Don't worry. And some other things that made people think, wow, what's he really going to do? We'll see. I think that we should get the wall started before we have even any of this talk, but we're in a short time period, of course, in March. But I would argue now, please speak English because we don't speak anything else in here. I would argue now that since that temporary restraining order is in place, Congress doesn't need to hurry. So let's get the wall first. But that's not going to happen. That's Trump playing 3D chess. Well, let's hope so, Shauna. That's what a lot of people think, it's 3D chess. So let's hope it is, and let's hope he doesn't, give in to anything. He hasn't so far. So his track record to doing what we want is there, but calling it a love bill, a bill of love, or whatever he did, I think that ticked a lot of people off too. President knows that they will not pass a DACA bill, and he knows it. Probably Big Ralph. He's probably going to have to come up with his own solution, and maybe that would be a good thing. But he can't pass a law. That's up to Congress. But I think, he can suggest what would be in the bill. When has Trump ever given in to what he ran on? That's what I'm saying, Shauna. He hasn't so far. We should send the bill for illegals, social services to Mexico, Alexa said. It ticked me off for sure, Kitty said. Build the wall so drug cartels will go broke buying drones, Rodney said. Good point. I think the deal was made before that public meeting, and the meeting was to soften the announcement, Renee said. Renee, I would believe that if Congress worked well together and Congress got things done quickly. I don't think so. I think that they're no further, closer to getting a bill than they were before. Why was that teacher? Well, we'll get to that in a minute, Brandon, because that is a story that I really want to talk about. Uh, Let me just tell you some things that came out in yesterday. Since President Trump has been speaking about resolving the DACA and immigration reform, border crossings have increased by 68%. And that's the stats from the U.S. Customs and Border Protection. A total of 40,513 immigrants entered illegally in December. That's up from 39,006 in November. Since October, 13,491 unaccompanied children and adults tried to cross, most coming from El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Mexico, made up more than a third of all those that were apprehended. So, that's not good. What's happening is people are trying to run in. Susan, what do you think about the reports that someone may have been killed because of the dossier? Well, Pat, I think the first thing that people jump to is, okay, maybe that's Seth Rich. I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe a Russian who was killed giving information. Do you think more will come out to beat out the legislation? Are you talking about illegal immigrants trying to cross in? I think that's a real possibility. But right now, under this article, under this temporary restraining order that this district judge has put in place, anybody coming in or anybody that's already here that didn't get DACA benefits before, they can't apply for a job or anything like that. So they're not getting the benefits. Hotels.com supports DACA, says Captain Obvious. Yeah, exactly, Rodney. Hey, Hassan, how are you? So let's see. See if there's anything else I wanted to say on that really quickly. As far as the what the GPS thing is and what they were saying that people have already died, I don't know. That could mean some people in Russia. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals right now, Renee, is not involved in this. This was a district court judge in San Francisco who made that ruling. Hasn't gone to the appeals court. It's still the district court level. And it's not unusual for a judge to kind of keep things in place until after a decision has been made. So let me just, not in his defense, but let me just say it wasn't a totally unusual move. Okay. Let's talk about what happened in Louisiana. So I did an article today. There's a video there at SusanKnowles.com. This teacher in Louisiana, I'm just going to tell you what it looked like on the video that I saw. I'm saying this, all are allegations. Nothing has been proven. I'm telling you what I saw in the video, what it looked like to me. This teacher, who is a teacher at the middle school, I believe been there for a long time, well-liked. There had been a question and answer period, I suppose, and then she stood up, lifted her hand up, as most teachers would tell their children to do as well in the classroom. And she started to ask a question. And basically what question she was asking, I think it was the superintendent, she was saying, you're asking for a raise here, and the teachers don't have a raise. What we do get is we're getting more kids in the classroom and more work on us, and we're not getting raises, but you're asking for a raise. And so she raises her hand. She's recognized by the superintendent, who starts talking to her. And then this other board member says, hey, this isn't the time for you to ask these questions, blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden, this guy, an officer, I think he's with the marshal's office, who works there, temporarily for the school, came over and told her, you need to leave, you need to get out. And she's like, excuse me, I'm talking to him, and he's basically talking to me. He's like, I don't care, you need to get out. And so she turns to go. She goes out into the hallway, and all of a sudden you hear her saying, stop that, or something to that nature. What happened was, when you go back out into the hallway, she's down on the floor. She claims that he pushed her down into the floor. She's up against the wall, and he's handcuffing her. And he said basically that it was a $30,000 raise, Cully. Basically, he took her and had her arrested. Why didn't they just have the teacher stand in the corner, Rodney? Rodney's a comedian. I just want you to know that. So basically, they took her to jail. They booked her there, and then they released her on bond. The superintendent got $30,000 in a raise, I believe it was. He went from about 110 to 140,000 a year. And people are laughing at you, Rodney, not laughing at you, but with you. And so he basically was that he'd made the rating of the school go from a B to an A, and he hadn't had a raise since 2013. Honestly, well, Susie, I hope she sues the pants off of him, actually. And the ACLU is on her side. She has an attorney in the district who's on her side. I think what I saw last night was absolutely egregious. One of the most egregious things that I have seen in quite some time. And what we used to see under the Obama administration, taking people out of school meetings like that. I mean, this woman did not commit a crime to be treated like that and to be arrested. It's so nice to see that Harvey Weinstein has gotten a new gig, even if it is as a security guard in Louisville. Oh, Rodney. All she did was ask a question. I wondered exactly how long she'd been talking, at what point in her speech did the tape begin. Was she arrested? She was arrested for resisting an arrest. No teacher unions down there. Brandon, I don't know. There was some union that it's in the article. Robin said, "Oh my gosh, things are out of control. Yes, I hope she sues the butts off." Rocky said nothing like corporate greed. Monique said, "So shame on her for her openness and asking a question, right? Wrong. How horrific, how horrific. This was so wrong in every way. It was wrong in every way." Hey, Marnie, good to see you. Yeah, he was a big guy. She was a really small woman. I mean, really short. I don't know why she was on the floor. I don't know if he pushed her, if she fell. She claims that he pushed her. 4 teachers could get $5,000 each and still give the dude a raise. Yep, she went out on the hallway and the cop followed her to arrest her. Teachers are always underpaid. Well, I mean, he hasn't been paid or given a raise in like 4 years. I wonder when the last time those teachers got a raise, and did they get something that's commensurate with what he got? I doubt it very seriously. After interviewing young people this week to fill a job, I think teachers are overpaid. Sorry. Well, you might feel differently if you were standing in a classroom of 40-some kids, each of them asking for something from you at one time, and the school requiring you to do so much stuff. I mean, it's a hard job. I would not want to be a teacher. Where's a nun when you need one? I know, Rodney. I would just have wrapped her knuckles with a ruler, problem solved. And you know what, Rodney? That probably would have been a lot better than taking her out and arresting her. Teachers buy supplies. Yes, they do, Shauna. I wouldn't do that job for $1 million a week. I know, Lee. It's a hard job. And you've got all the parents of all of those kids on you all the time. And the school district and all the requirements, even that the state and the federal government puts on you. And teachers do not make enough to buy their own supplies for kids. Exactly. And they shouldn't have to buy supplies for the kids. I mean, in states like California, they raise so much money for the kids. My mother graded papers till 10 o'clock at night. Yes, Marlene. It's a hard job. Teachers are the most underpaid to take crap from students and parents. Teachers, yep, that's true. The point to them was that the teachers and students were doing the work to bring scores up. Teacher, babysitter, mentor, parent, figure, everything. Another daughter is social worker in schools attacked by a kindergartner. Whew. Not all school districts have them buy supplies. I don't know, Barbara, probably not in Texas, but almost every place else they do. My daughter buys supplies for her classroom, even laminating sheets. I know if you need something, that's pretty much what you're going to have to do. Or try to get a grant somehow that will pay for them. I know a teacher who is leaving her profession because it's getting crazy. Getting crazy. Has been crazy. My husband asked me why I'm not pursuing a career in teaching. I know, Monique, haven't watched this show. I know a couple of teachers that quit after Common Core was started, Robin said. Teachers start out at $24,000 here in Florida. And, you couldn't, and Marlene, I don't know what they start out here in California. It's pretty low. You couldn't live off of that here in California. Here, the schools ask parents to donate supplies. That's great. That's a good idea. Hey, Huey, students get away with way too much. They really do, Pat. They do, and a lot of times their parents help them get away with a lot. Hey, Sippy, how are you? A Board of Education always have the purse and give out pennies to classrooms. Exactly, Brandon. I taught advanced IT network systems administrator and engineering at a college. Some of my students barely had a seventh grade English comprehension level. It was grueling and the rewards were few, Spencer said. That's true, Spencer. The post office is 500% better since UPS, email, and FedEx started competing against them. That's true. I bought a used rocking chair for her story time. Aw, how nice, Jerry. It's true, Rodney, that the post office is better with the competition. Common Core, in my opinion, is a disaster. Yours and mine, Pat, and probably a lot of other people. She says the kids come with no paper, no pencils from home. Good morning, Chris. How are you? And they do. I mean, a lot of kids, they come from environments that are not very good. 14,000 per student per year to teach them. Give me a break. We are past the halfway point. If everybody would please retweet this, I would really appreciate that. Retweet and share. Retweet and share, please. Common Core 2 plus 2 is approximately 5. And Ralph, it's okay as long as, you show your work. Even if the answer is wrong, it's okay. Especially math, it takes 5 minutes to solve 5 plus 5. Now because of Common Core, it takes you all day. After 10 years in the school district, some teachers should not be teachers. Barbara said, well, there are teachers that have probably been around too long, and that's just the way it is in almost every job. There should be, and there are some ways to, correct the situations of teachers. And teachers, they can't go out and just do whatever they want to do. I mean, if that's what you think, they can't. The problem with concealed carry is that parents or Common Core parents don't understand. And wasn't that the real deal with Common Core, is so that you really, as a parent, you can't help your children because you don't understand Common Core. I think that was one of the aspects that the left wanted. I really do. All right, so some news out of North Carolina as well. Common Core dumbed down the kids, dumbed down everybody. My gosh. Most ridiculous thing I've ever seen is Common Core, especially when it comes to math. I mean, really, it's ridiculous. Federal judge in North Carolina said the state will need to quickly redraw its 13 districts because it's unconstitutional, partisan towards Republicans. Common Core is designed to make all children equal, Rodney said. Yeah, equally dumb, Rodney, I think. So Republicans say that they said that it violated the Equal Protection Clause, the First Amendment, and Article 1 of the Constitution. So, gerrymandering, they claim, yes. And so there's some lawsuits for other states that say that as well. The Republicans are not happy about that. Also, President Trump's attorney yesterday sued Fusion GPS and BuzzFeed over the dossier filed yesterday in the federal court for false and defamatory allegations resulting in harm to professional and personal reputation, business interests, and impairment of business opportunities in the future. Someone needs to bring back critical thinking. Yeah, I know, Shauna, and it's like, who would that be now? Because everybody in the schools, they've gotten that critical thinking out of you. Nobody knows how to do critical thinking anymore. So, remember, and this is part, Jerome Corsi retweeted that Google managers kept blacklists of conservatives. Wow. Common Core is in place to make our children able to compete in the world, many nations smarter. Oh, I don't believe that, Rhonda, for 1 second. Yeah. It's just ridiculous, yeah. But you remember how when they used to tell the schools that if you had somebody who was coming in and an intruder and they were shooting people, to put all the kids in one corner of the room, and it made them like sitting targets. I mean, whose critical thinking caused that to happen? My daughter just said Common Core is making simple math problems difficult. She's listening to you with me. She's absolutely right, Robin. Just like Gary said, she's a smart girl. People have zero clue what their teachers earn, but say they are underpaid. Well, Sippy, you can go online and find out what teachers earn in every district. It's right there. It's public knowledge. Common Core teachers, you know how. Oh gosh, that went too fast. What is Betsy DeVos doing? Probably hiding under her desk because everywhere she goes, she's not welcome. Who is this Jerry guy and why is he constantly mandering around? Jerry Brown? That guy? Yes, this morning. And that also came out from Project Veritas yesterday, Jerry. And Periscope talked about it today. Uh, it is pretty peanut zippy. I mean, I don't know what state you're looking at, but most states, they make very small amounts of money. I mean, not like compared to everybody else. They don't make the same money. So show me what you're talking about. And if that's a teacher of 30 years, you might be right. But a new teacher, a teacher like up to 5 years, something like that, that's not right. Hey, Pamela, how are you? Haven't seen you in a long time. My daughter is a math coach to other teachers. I trust her. Ugh, I don't trust Common Core at all. Period. It is ridiculous. My husband said our children know more math than his college students coming in from public schools. Robin said, "Absolutely, I agree with that, Robin." Central Pennsylvania average 85. Sippy, that is not common. Trust me. Teachers in California aren't making 85,000 a year. Common Core sidetrack sound logical thinking onto an abstract track. This aligns the children to accept the crap that is being thrown at them by the media and our government, Spitzer said. The titans of Silicon Valley all send their children to schools where computers and social media are not allowed, only pencil and paper and actual books. True story. Wow. Oh, that tells you something, Rodney. Take cost of living into account. Exactly, Brandon. I mean, Pennsylvania must be a very expensive place to live because I can see that in New York perhaps too, but around the rest of the country, they're not making that money. Exactly. Jerry said she saw one school that dumped Common Core and the grades shot up to number 1. My daughter is homeschooling my grandkids through a Christian-based program. Debbie said, good for her. Some Dallas, missed that one. My daughter's 13 and she talks like an adult. I love listening to her. Because she's smart, Robin, because you made her smart by homeschooling her. They are implementing tablets here. It's ridiculous. Brain on Common Core. You know what they should do is go back to the abacus. What are they making where you live? Teachers start out at around in the 20s, and they maybe make around 40,000 in 5 years or something like that, somewhere around that. I don't know for sure. You can look it up online. I mean, all of it's there. Teachers only teach the students to pass tests now. Brandon, I've been in the classroom, and basically, if I were kids, California Sippy, if I were kids, I would be bored out of my mind because a lot of classrooms that I've been into, they just give you a piece of paper with the questions on it. You answer them, and all day long, that's basically all you're doing. A lot of times, people aren't even teaching. The teachers aren't even teaching. They just give them the paperwork and say, here, take the test. It's ridiculous. I mean, what happened to where, you were sitting in the classroom and teachers were actually teaching you something? Teachers work long hours. Husband is a teacher professor, always working at home. Yes, Rhonda, all the time. Poor teachers are just glorified babysitters now. For the most part, a lot of them are, Marlene. Have I seen schools in China? Are they learning a lot more than we are, Lee? Get rid of all the PC courses info too. Yeah. 23,000 for 9 months. Grandkids school. Wow. Teachers have the workbook, can copy tests and answers. I like the abacus. It is one of the best visual math aids in the world, Spencer said. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Sometimes you ask kids to add, some figure like 23 plus 45, and they start looking for a calculator. They can't do it in their heads. I passed the bar last night. That's a lie. I stopped for 45 minutes. Rodney, you're terrible. We taught in China not as smart as we're made to believe. Huh. 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Teachers work long hours. Good teachers are going to private schools. They make less money in private schools, Brandon. Especially in California, you go to private school, you're making a lot less. In Albuquerque, New Mexico, they were offering an after-school program on Satanism. Great, Susie. Average teacher salary 52,000 in Virginia as of 2015. Wow. Average salary in California 69. That's not possible. Lee, Sippy, that's just not possible. I know you looked, but it's not possible. The teachers I know are not making $69,000 a year. Less money, but much more satisfaction. True, Chris. And less obligation and restrictions and things that they have to comply with and on and on. CP, how many years was that? I mean, that average, you're talking from like 30 years? That might be the average, but what is the average teacher making that's been working for 5 years? What are these people making? Husband was made to change test scores so they all fall within 80%. That's terrible. Terrible, Rhonda. Absolutely terrible. Get a young person to count change back to you. They can't do it. They just can't do it. Chinese students have no idea how to think critically. Well, Rhonda, that should tell you. I mean, that's what Common Core does, too. That Common Core, you're not thinking critically. Private school teachers deal with much less problems and better parents. True, Big Ralph. They appreciate it more. They don't break 60K without a master's degree. That's right, Spencer. I see burned out teachers all the time. And a lot of teachers can't afford to get a master's degree because they're working so much and working such long hours, and they don't have a lot of them the salary that can afford them to go to schools to get their master's. I remember, too, like law enforcement in San Diego years ago, the starting salary for law enforcement was in the $30,000 range. New York pays for the masters? Oh, my gosh. Hey, Sue, good to see you. That's amazing. If somebody would do that here, you'd have a lot more teachers with master's degrees. It's bad in college as well, Susan. Yep. Can't fail students. It would hurt their feelings. Not only that, Cully, but it would hurt the state's feelings, and they wouldn't get money from the federal government. But then once teachers get masters, they go and work for the Board of Education. True, Brandon, they go and do other jobs. They get away from teaching because they don't want to do it anymore. The Real Rogers. Hey, Roger B. The Real Roger B. Sorry, I said it wrong the first time. Sorry about that. All right, so you may want to remember this name. Oh, how childish of you to come in and say that. My husband was accepted into San Diego Police Academy back in the day. Susie, I went through the police academy back in the day in San Diego. Master's mandatory in New York. Wow. Used to be that an A students teach, C students started businesses, and B students worked for C students. Much different now. Students develop startups. B students wallow in their middle class, and C students. I said C more, and I'm going to touch the screen. It's going to okay. Student develop, and D students teach. Sorry if I tick off the exceptions, but that's the rule now. I know I read that hastily. Master's mandatory in Indiana, too. Wow. Berkeley, low, 78K to 133. Yeah, but that's Berkeley. You know how expensive it is to live in San Francisco? You get a cracker box of a room in San Francisco, and it's going to cost you over $1,000 a month. Just hire a good teacher. I know. Oh, wow. Fox News just aired the video of the parent being arrested. Yep. It's on my SusanKnowles.com. Monique, it's in the article, too. That woman, I'm telling you, she should... Oh, well, anyway. A House Democrat, Representative Brendan Boyle of Pennsylvania. Berkeley is so over-the-top expensive. It's amazing. He introduced a new bill called the Stable Genius Act. Oh, how funny. Haha. Requiring a major party presidential nominee to undergo full medical examination and release the results prior to the public prior to moving forward. Those high salaries commensurate with the area. Yep, that's right, Shauna. Chinese people don't let their emotions affect their critical decisions. That's critical thinking at its finest, Rodney said. Yeah, I know, Brandon. Isn't that so cutesy that he thought, oh, well, since Trump called himself a stable genius or whatever, he was going to use that. What is wrong with people? Well, maybe Brendan is the one who needs the medical examination. Hopefully that's going to die in the House and not go any further. I mean, so ridiculous. All he wanted to do, he knew that it was going to get him attention, and that's what he did. Trump does outwit the mainstream media all the time. All the time. Here's some good news for people in Alabama. Toyota and Mazda has picked Alabama for a $1.6 billion manufacturing plant to be put there. So congratulations, Alabama. Let's see, jobs are coming back to the United States. Isn't that what President Trump said would happen? Oh, yes, I think it is. So there you go. There's another achievement for President Trump. The Democratic women are wearing black to the State of the Union speech. Oh, dear God. Ugh. Okay. Hillary practically passed out during a 9/11 memorial. Brandon said, jobs, jobs, job. Montana has the lowest starting salary, $27K. And most states are like that, Sippy. It's ridiculous. Once a student acquires good reading comprehension skills, the only thing one with forward learning desires really needs are books and an online PC. The greatest truth of all. I heard the Dem men are going to wear black too. Isn't that great? Pat, if they don't wear black, they're going to get chastised just like the men did in Hollywood who didn't get up at the Golden Globes and talk about sexual harassment and things like that, because the women of Hollywood who now dictate what they do, called them out on it. So you have to do what the women in Hollywood want you to do, men, or you're going to be in trouble. And that's going to be across the board. Trust me, it's coming. Proactive learning skills are exactly what our government does not want to happen. Exactly. Wear black for their funeral. Democrat Party is now socialist, Brandon said. Hillary would have kept us on government assistance. Worse than that, Susie. She probably would have stopped that too. Black is very slimming, just saying. Shauna said, gotta run. Great show. Smart audience. Thank you, Sippy. We'll see you. Hopefully you'll be here tomorrow. Have a great day. Great news for Alabama, but sad the left will never give Trump the credit he deserves for restoring our country, Monique said. Yep. Monica said it's a black tie event. They should be wearing black tux. No? Yep, they should. It's the first time the women, I think, of Hollywood actually looked halfway decent in a long time. They looked, respectable, and weren't sleazy in their black gowns. Otherwise, man, let it all hang out is usually what happens at the awards, as you know, if you've watched them. I did not watch this year. Not over-sexualized. Yeah, exactly. There you go, Brandon. I did see one woman that, I don't know who she was, but people were talking about her. I'm waiting for orange to be the new black for the Democrats, who takes Hollywood seriously. The Democrats do. Those on the left take them very seriously. We the people need to stop telling our representatives to stop fighting. Tell them to stop fighting our POTUS. Exactly, Pat. Libs no longer allow men to be men. The females want to be the men. Debbie, the women are putting the men in the background, whether it's politics, business, Hollywood. It's coming, and it's happening right now, and it continues to happen. Blanca looked like a... I can't say that word. There are children listening. I saw several with slits to their belly buttons. Yeah, there's always a few. Democrats need Hollywood as endorsement. Yes, the women in Hollywood are enablers for bad people. Susie said, my husband looked at dresses and said, well, they cut them very low. Skin did show. Yeah, it did on some, Barbara. I didn't watch, but I saw pics. Yeah, I think for the most part, they didn't look like that, like they usually do. I have a lot of single friends who are getting nervous about even going on a date with a woman. Pat, listen. If I were a guy and I were going on a date with a woman, I would ask for a female chaperone to go with me, and maybe even a female and a male chaperone to go with me. I think they ought to be a little leery. My husband said, if you put blood in the water, the sharks will come, Barbara said. Record it. Yeah, have a camera. Maybe wear a camera and record it and tell the woman that you're recording the whole date. So I'm just saying, protect yourself. Let's see. In other news, gosh, I'm trying to think where these. I had written this down. I wanted to tell you. Let me see if I can find it really quickly here. Let's see. Two people. Here we go. Senator Cory Booker and Senator Kamala Harris. Two of, I don't know, probably your favorite people, right? They're going to join the Senate Judiciary Committee which hasn't had a black senator as a member since the 1990s. Yeah, the last thing I want to do is hear her mouth on the on a Judiciary Committee in the Senate talking down to people. Yep. The Trump administration. Here's what was said. The Trump administration has repeatedly demonstrated its hostility to the ideals of civil rights and equal justice for all. That's what Booker said. As a member of the Senate Judiciary Committee, I will make it my mission to check and balance President Trump and Attorney Jeff Sessions. Booker will be the first black male to sit on the Senate Judiciary Committee, while Harris of California becomes the first black female on the committee since 1990s. Thrilled to share that I've been appointed to the Senate Judiciary Committee. You have my commitment that I will fight for justice on behalf of Californians and all people and all Americans. Harris said on Twitter, and her appointment was expected after Senator Al Franken announced his resignation last year. And the appointment of Booker and Kamala Harris give Republicans just a one-seat advantage on the Judiciary Committee. Not good, people. Not good. And Kamala, if she has her way, she won't be on that committee long because she will be your next president in 2020. That's what she wants. Make no mistake about it. That's what she wants. Let's see, in other news, a study that the Democrats ordered backfired on them. They ordered a study to expose illegal online gun sales. They were hoping, yes, that earthquake happened last night, Jerry. The 7.6 earthquake first happened in Honduras. See, that happened last night. And they reported it first at 7.6, and then they said it went to 7.8. That was the official. So I don't know what the official word really is. I think that will bring Michelle Obama out for 2020. It could be. Maybe she and Oprah could run together and they can both have Obama. So this study was ordered to expose illegal online gun sales. And in the 2.5-year investigation, agents tried to buy firearms. 72 attempts were made outside of the dark web, and they were unsuccessful. Oh, tsunami threat over Puerto Rico. That's all they need. In the Virgin Islands, that's all they need. I know, Robin. I had to go there. And as you were saying, Twitter did say this was a senior network security engineer at Twitter who was talking on camera with Project Veritas people. He didn't know, of course, that he was talking to them. He was saying that he will they'd gladly turn over all the information, the Twitter information, DMs, private, anything that President Trump has deleted. They'll turn it over to the DOJ because the country needs for them to, because the president's so dangerous. Spencer said, where was Booker when Obama was stomping on the Constitution and our Bill of Rights? Well, he didn't care because that's what he's probably going to do too. How can they release private information? Jerry, there's probably some clause that in the agreement with Twitter that you probably didn't read that says they can do that. It's kind of like, a private company, I guess. Booker was pandering to his base, as always, Brandon. Can't stand Harris or Booker, either one of them. They're so anti-Trump, it's ridiculous. There was also a former representative legislator from Idaho who was facing sexual abuse allegations. He shot and killed himself yesterday. Young man who was about 36 years old. Booker's a big anti-Trump guy. Yes, Pat, for sure. Which one said something about an island flipping? Brandon, somebody said that there were the tsunami warnings or threats for Puerto Rico and the Virgin Isles. If that's what you're talking about, I don't know. Today's show was brought to you by at Louisiana PTA. Thank you, Wayne. Great scope again, Susan. Have a blessed day, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for coming by. Thank you for supporting the show. Please, if you will, retweet this show. Also, if you want to see God's views on political news, we had that show yesterday. You can find the video and the audio at susanknowles.com. Another show we had a lot of fun with. So thank you, Robin. Thank you, everybody. God bless you guys for coming by. And I hope we see you here tomorrow. Oh, yeah, that's right. The guy who was saying the island was flipping. Thank you. Thank you for loving the show, Renee. I'm glad that you do. Great day, Susan. See everybody tomorrow. Be safe, my friends. Thank you, everyone. God bless you too, Robin. Hope your daughter gets well really, really soon. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. All right, YouTubers, see you tomorrow. Take care. God bless.